What if you could win a war with a single sentence? This is the story of how rising rap superstar GloRilla did exactly that. From a jailhouse phone, hip-hop giant Young Thug launched a nasty, unprovoked attack, calling her ugly as FK.
GloRilla, she...
Yeah.
Why do have people say she pretty? That be ugly.
You think she ugly?
You said it.
The internet absolutely lost its mind. But what GloRilla did next wasn't what anyone expected. She let the world burn for a moment, and then, with just a few words, she didn't just fire back. She completely dismantled the beef and walked away with the crown. This isn't just a story about a clapback. It's a masterclass in psychological warfare. Stick around, because we're going to break down how she turned a hateful rant into a legendary win, and the bombshells we're about to drop get messier and messier.
So, let's set the scene. It all starts behind bars. Young Thug, one of the most influential rappers of his generation, is fighting the legal battle of his life in a massive RICO case. His entire world is chaos, and in the middle of all this, his private jailhouse calls start leaking online. And they are pure dynamite. But one call in particular stood out for being just plain cruel.
On a call with his girlfriend, singer Mariah the Scientist, the conversation somehow drifts to Memphis's own GloRilla. For reasons we still don't fully understand, Young Thug launches into a vicious tirade about her looks. The audio is jarring. You can hear him say, "That ugly as FK." He didn't stop there, mocking everything from her wig to her features, saying she had a long bullshit-ass wig, skinny shit, goddamn big-ass head, big mouth. But here's the first bombshell, the part that truly lit the internet on fire. It wasn't just what Thug said. It was the person laughing on the other end of the line, Mariah the Scientist. When she mentioned that some people think GloRilla looks like Rihanna, Thug just scoffed. The internet instantly noticed Mariah's laughter and silence. Comments flooded social media. One user, Liv, wrote, "Allowing a man to disrespect another woman in front of you is crazy." Another named Rainy Zoe put it bluntly, "Mariah so male-centered and it's destroying her." And I have to agree, that felt like a massive betrayal, especially since old videos resurfaced of GloRilla bringing Mariah out on stage at a festival. It just made her look, as one commenter put it, weird, and like she violated the girl code. The fuse was officially lit. Once that audio leaked, social media turned into a war zone. The backlash against Young Thug was immediate and brutal. Why was a man fighting for his freedom so obsessed with tearing down a successful woman? It reeked of insecurity. The comments were ruthless. User Key posted a not-so-flattering photo of Thug with the caption, "Mind you, this is the material." Another, Fan T, spoke for everyone when they said, "I know Young Thug ain't calling nobody ugly. Nobody." And look, let's be real. This is a tired, old pattern in hip-hop. Male artists have been punching down on women for decades, criticizing their looks as a way to undermine their success. It's a classic, misogynistic move. But this time felt different. GloRilla's rise has been so meteoric, so celebrated, that Thug's comments just made him look like a hater. As one user put it, "He think he's something because he with Mariah the Scientist." The whole situation was a pressure cooker of drama. You have the locked-up superstar, the girlfriend catching heat for her complicity, and the rising star at the center of it all. Everyone was watching, waiting for GloRilla to unleash hell. Would she drop a diss track? Go on a messy Instagram live? The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Everyone had an opinion, but the only one that truly mattered was coming next.
In the world of celebrity beef, the expected move is to fight fire with fire. But GloRilla is smarter than that. She let the internet rage. She let everyone get their takes out. And then she dropped the second and most critical bombshell of the entire saga.
She went on X, formerly Twitter, and posted a single sentence that wasn't angry or defensive. It was cool, confident, and absolutely devastating. She wrote, "Mind you, just the same blowing my phone up to ask what color my eyes is. Game over." That right there was a checkmate. In one move, she completely flipped the power dynamic. Young Thug tried to publicly frame her as unattractive. Her response? She revealed that behind the scenes he was thirsty for her attention. The public insults suddenly looked like the bitter rant of a man who got rejected. Fans went wild. "Oh, so he likes GloRilla," one person commented. Another, named Jordan, spelled it out. "That means he's definitely in love with her." She didn't call him names. She just hit him with a receipt of his own hypocrisy. And that lamau at the end? That was the kill shot. A casual laugh showing she was completely unbothered. If I were in her shoes, my ego would have been bruised, and I might have lashed out. But GloRilla played chess, not checkers. She didn't just respond to the drama, she ended it. And my favorite comment on this whole thing from DatDamnD suggested a title for this saga. Realize, recognize real lies. Absolutely perfect. Before we get to Young Thug's desperate apology and the messy fallout, if you're enjoying this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe, because the final bombshell involves one of Young Thug's most famous exes. After GloRilla's tweet went nuclear, the narrative completely flipped. Young Thug was no longer the bully. He was the punchline. He was outplayed, embarrassed, and facing a PR nightmare on top of a federal case. He had to do something.
So, he did what many thought was impossible. He publicly apologized. He went on X and wrote, @GloTheOfficial, "First of all, I'm sorry to you for my words, and I honestly don't think you're ugly at all. I was speaking from jail, just having a hard time with life. I don't like bashing girls and hardly ever did. I'm sorry to you, twin."
This was a stunning move. He blamed the stress of jail, admitted he was having a hard time, and even called her twin, an Atlanta term of endearment. But was it genuine? The internet wasn't buying it. As user RAE put it, "He's not sorry. He's sorry it got out." And I have to agree. It felt less like a heartfelt apology and more like damage control. The twin comment also backfired. Users online found it condescending. "I'd crash out if Young Thug called me twin," one person wrote. Another simply said, "Calling her twin is equally as insulting." And now for the final juicy bombshell. Just when things couldn't get messier, the internet started talking about Young Thug's famous ex, Jerrika Karlae. A user named Ray tweeted, "The Jerrika feature might break the internet." Everyone started speculating what she must be thinking, remembering all the public drama she and Thug went through. Her silence on this was deafening, leaving everyone to imagine her sipping tea and thinking, "That's the man I know." So what have we learned? A hateful rant from a jail phone, a social media firestorm, and a single, perfectly aimed tweet that forced an apology from one of hip-hop's biggest stars. GloRilla proved that the best comeback isn't the loudest, it's the smartest. She refused to play the victim, took control of the narrative, and walked away looking stronger and more powerful than ever. It was a legendary move that people will be talking about for years.
But now I have to put it to you, because the internet is completely divided on this. What was the most savage part of this entire story? Was it
Mariah the scientist's snake-like laughter on the phone, GloRilla's checkmate tweet exposing Thug's DMs, or Young Thug's pathetic apology where he called her twin? Drop your vote, 1, 2, or 3, in the comments right now. There are thousands of opinions flying around down there, and if you're not in the comments, you're missing out on the real conversation. Let's debate this.
And as always, if you want to stay on top of the biggest stories in hip-hop, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.